Hello everybody, welcome to another vBrownBag Meet the Expert, this time from New York and New Jersey UserCon in New York City. Actually, Jersey City. I always mess that up.
Jersey City, yes.
I'm here today with my good friend Prabhu Barathi. Get closer, Barry. I don't bite. And Prabhu, please introduce yourself.
So, hey everyone, my name is Prabhu Barathi. I'm a staff systems engineer on the NSX team at VMware. Prior to coming to VMware, I was a SE for Juniper Networks. I was there 8 years. I did multiple roles at Juniper. Got my feet wet in networking, and then when VMware called and said, "Hey, we have a role. Do you want to explore this opportunity?" It's like, sure, this sounds fun. Like, be part of a team that's like 50 people globally. Why not? So I jumped in head first, and that's how I got to meet you at a VMUG. And I often tell the story to people that I actually genuinely don't know how I met you. It's kind of blurred at this point in my head, but you know what? It's been a good ride so far.
Are you on Twitter?
Of course I'm on Twitter. What do you think?
What is your Twitter handle?
The Twitter handle is Prabhu_B, PRABHU_B.
I think your bio says that you're.
Of course I'm a ramen enthusiast.
Can't wait. We're going tonight to a great place in Brooklyn. So Prabhu and I are really good friends, right? And he knows that I'm going to ask him about his career, so he just blurted out like that in 10 seconds or something. But I don't want to know about that part of your career. Okay. I want to get back, way back. Bring me way back.
Way back. So
when you were in college, when you were thinking in college, what were you thinking?
So actually, if I go way back, to be completely fair, I actually wanted, when I was young, I actually wanted to be a pilot. Mm-hmm. I wanted to go fly, join either the Air Force or be a commercial pilot. That's what I wanted to do. But then, like the previous guy said, like Hamad said, right? Like
he has a name.
Hamad said.
Yeah. VCDX-248.
VCDX-248. Yeah. Please look him up on Twitter. He needs more followers. But in all fairness, it was basically like my sister, everyone I was surrounded by, they were either in IT, they were in engineering. So I said, you know what, maybe I have to do this
follow the family trail.
Follow the family trail. I went into engineering, and I actually, my major was electronics. So I don't do any electronics anymore. Yeah. I did a little bit of electrical. So it was not at all related to networking. And I think in engineering, I probably did like one course in networking. Mm-hmm. And
you didn't get much into it?
I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then after that, I finished my engineering, and then I was like, okay, what do I do now? And my sister convinced me actually to move to America. She said, you should consider going.
You didn't tell us where you're from.
I'm originally from Bombay. I was born and brought up. I lived there 21 years of my life. Okay. And then I moved to America in 2005. Came to Fairfax, Virginia. I enrolled in master's program for telecommunications, and that's where I actually started getting into networking and security and all these different things. So I went through the program, and luckily for me, a lot of the guys who had passed out of the program were at Juniper at that point, and they were looking to bring on a junior engineer at that time, and that junior engineer turned out to be me.
So hold on, you had no work experience before going into your master's?
No, I just went from school to my master's.
School to school. That's actually probably the best way to do it, because once you're working, you don't want to go back to school.
It's true. That's a very fair point. But at the same time, I also feel like now when I look back and see what I learned in my master's, I do feel it would have helped me if I had 1 year or 2 years of work experience, because there were many times in class I would go and they would be like, hey, this is what we do in our company, and I'm like, I have nothing to add to this conversation. I have no work experience at this point. But it was fun. I learned a lot by working on campus, by working in the IT labs. I learned a lot just being with other people and learning from their experiences. I got a lot of good feedback from them at that point.
All right. So Juniper, great time. How many years?
Almost 8 years.
That's a lot of time in one company.
It was a very good company to work for. Wonderful people. I still keep in touch with a majority of them. We hang out. And a lot of them work literally across the building in New York. Run into them at the deli. I run into them at the bars. I keep meeting them. Wonderful bunch of people. And I always say this, a lot of the things I owe is because of where I came from. Is because of all the people at Juniper. They would put up with me. They taught me along the way.
The master here that doesn't understand TCP/IP.
Yeah, exactly. Go learn. And I'll tell you a small story. One of my first jobs was to basically rack servers and rack stuff, right? And they gave me a power drill and said, go rack these things. And it's simple enough. And I actually couldn't figure out how to make that power drill work. Like this gentleman who was, I don't know what his educational background was, he's looking at me like, are you seriously, you really don't know how to operate a power drill? And we hired you. So,
hey, there's some things lost in translation. In Costa Rica, but I never saw power drill in Costa Rica.
Yeah, you had those manual school.
Yeah, so maybe this, but once I actually saw a guy racking stuff with, and I'm like,
why the hell was I using this?
I was using the other.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean, man.
Yeah. So, and again, like, all the opportunities that came my way, no one ever stopped me and said, "Hey, you have to do this," or "You can't do this." You know, they helped push a lot of things for me. So I'm always indebted to Juniper for taking that leap of faith. You know, like in a guy who could have gone either way. Like he could have been a complete bust, or he would have done well. So
one thing that I've learned from the time meeting you and knowing you well is that you are a very nice person, right?
Oh,
and we talked about the circle of karma.
I didn't pay you to say that.
No. The circle of karma actually comes around. And this is one thing that I'm very happy with when you got involved with the New York City VMUG, is that you have always been a very sociable and affable person. So whenever these guys said, hey, we want to do something, you were always there trying to support the VMUG. And that's how honestly, the whiteboards have gone to another level, especially talking NSX, thanks to the fact that you show up all the time and you support these guys in everything they do. So publicly, thank you for that, really a lot.
Of course, I learn a lot from you guys. I think I told you once about this, that my world is, it's not that it's limited, but I think my focus is so heavy on NSX and public cloud and these things these days that I lose sight of some of the core stuff that vSphere does. And that's where you guys actually are able to help me understand that, hey, this is what the underpinnings are. This is how this stuff actually works. So I learn a lot from you guys on things that, frankly, I don't know much about, right? So it helps.
It's a good community to be part of.
Good community to be part of.
Tell me about your VCDX. I heard that you're going to take it in March.
Quite frankly, I've started and stalled so many times.
He's never said that.
Yeah. And now you have me publicly saying that, no, I'm not going to do it. But no, I've started and stopped a bunch of times, and I definitely need to get on it and just get it out of the way at this point.
So if you ever run into that problem where you say I'm not good enough, just look at Tim Davis, and after that you'll be like, no, come on, I can do this.
No, it's definitely on my plans. Just need to put mind over matter and just
tell me then. Okay, I'm joking with the VCDX, half joking. I know you can do it, but tell me what is really like interesting you today. Like what gets your juices flowing? What are you really excited to learn?
Frankly, it started about, I would say, 12 to 18 months ago, when a few of my coworkers and I, we went and took a class for public cloud, AWS specifically. And there, we really, it opened my eyes to oh, there's a lot of things we can do, and especially now with all the stuff that VMware is coming out with in the public cloud space. And that is actually really interesting to me personally. Got a chance this year to work on stuff that was in beta, got involved with all the Project Symphony stuff, which is now called VMware Cloud Services. Okay. So we got a behind-the-scenes look into see how does it actually come alive? All the mechanics behind. We see a very picture-perfect demo at VMworld, but how do you actually get to that point? There's a lot of work. Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes behind it to make it look that seamless and make it perfect. And by the time it gets there, we provide a lot of feedback. Being in the field, I see a lot of things that the product teams may not exactly see at times. So being able to provide that feedback, getting engaged with developers, seeing what they want. And most of the times they were very happy to just see that, there are people who are, breaking their stuff that they're building and getting feedback and just moving it so quickly. I was amazed at the amount of work that the entire team did, and they continue to put in every single day. I'm amazed, and it's something I'm very passionate about, and we can probably spend a good half day, an hour, and this entire thing could have just been that and more. But I'm very excited to see the future.
All right, so tell me now more about Prabhu. What don't I know? Because I know you love ramen. I know you appreciate the good things about New York, like all the good places to eat. Tell me something I don't know about you that's fun and quirky.
Actually, a couple of things. This happened a couple of weeks ago. In one of our meetings, they said, introduce yourself and tell us your favorite band. And I said, I'm Prabhu, and I like Metallica. And And everyone was like, wait, Metallica? This guy? Like, he's
They didn't have you. They hadn't have you for a rock guy.
Yeah, they were like, no, we don't see it at all. We see like maybe like soft jazz, maybe top 20 pop. We can see you, but not Metallica. And I'm like, I've actually been to 4 Metallica concerts in my lifetime.
There you go.
So that's something I think it's very quirky, and I actually love 80s music and Spanish music, like we were talking yesterday.
So wait, you have to tell that story. You have to tell that story.
Like my wife actually got me into Spanish music, so she's like, you should listen to this, you should listen to this. So I actually listened to.
So we're talking in Spanish music, like Latin music, like reggaeton.
Reggaeton, yeah.
So reggaeton,
yeah.
Okay, so reggaeton,
like Daddy Yankee, all these guys, right? Okay. And I started listening to it, and I'm like, this is actually really cool. So I started listening to it more and more. And now Spotify actually has like, they actually recommend Spanish artists to me at this point. They're like actively trying to tell me, hey, you should listen to this, you should listen to this. And based on our conversation, I actually know like maybe 4 words in Spanish at this point. So I'm always on the look for those 4 words. And then I'm like, I know this.
Mommy?
Yeah, mommy, there's poquito, there's despacito. So I know like 4 words at this point. So I'm only looking for those words in songs. But no, in all fairness, it's extremely catchy, and
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to play loud in the car.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to play loud in the car, and it's you know, I've always been a person who listens to music that I may or may not understand. I don't really care. It's the rhythm at the end of the day. I'm like Hamad said, right? Like that's like a de-stressor for me. Like if I'm commuting to the city, or if I'm driving, or if I'm walking, you'll always see me listening to something, and it's usually stuff I don't understand or I don't know.
Hey, you've been picking up Spanish. You can go to a bar now.
Oh yeah.
If you were married.
If I wasn't, like, if my wife was going to watch this, she's going to be like, we need to cut the Spanish links at this point. But anyway, that's just kidding. But beyond that, I mean, I'm trying to be healthier. Trying to do more bike events as much as I can. Being here in the New York area, very lucky that there's always bike events that are happening. So a lot of my coworkers and I, we try to do it as a team event. We'll try to get as many people as we can. For the Bike New York 40-mile 5-borough trip, we actually had about 25 people with their families who came in. It was a fun event. So we try to do those things and just get everyone together, and outside of work, like, you know, we need to know who you are outside of work as well.
That's what this is all about. All right, well, one last thing that you want to send out? You want to say hi to your wife or anything?
I'm on TV.
All right, that's Prabhu. Thank you so much, as always. Not just for sitting down with me, but the things you have been doing for years and years.
Look forward to doing it more.
Thank you.
Thank you.